What do I want from love? It's time to get your pen and paper out and start writing. This is the 5th video in our series of What Do I Want? Hi, this is Mark Clayton coming to you from my home office in Burien, Washington with your ECNM Lifestyles Daily Minute. And so today, spend time thinking about what you want from love. And, take a look at what you have. Take a look at what you've had in the past. Take a look at what you want moving forward. Maybe like me, you have been to a restaurant and you've just looked around and observed other people in the restaurant, and you see those couples, that they've been there together as a couple for quite a few years or a number of years, and they don't hardly even look up at each other. They don't even talk to each other much. Yes, I'm guilty of some of that myself at times. And then those are just little tips of things that we really need to work on in our own relationships. But then a lot of it too is to do with the spark that's in the relationship, the chemistry that's in the relationship. And sometimes in our relationships that spark and that chemistry just changes over time, and we may need to either revive it in that relationship, or we may need to look at other relationship possibilities as well. But if you don't start thinking about what you actually want from love, then how are you ever going to really have a life having the love that you want? And of course, being in ethically and consensually non-monogamous people, then we know that we look to more than just one person for the love in our life. Now, some people that are ethically and consensually non-monogamous, because there are many different shades within our whole spectrum of people involved in our relationship styles, and some of those people then are non-monogamous physically and sexually, but they are very monogamous emotionally. And so I certainly am not speaking necessarily to those people here, but probably more to the people like myself who are more polyamorous. And polyamorous are people then who feel that you can be emotionally involved with more than one person at a time. And those additional emotional involvements and partners in your life can really augment your life so much that if you don't ask yourself, what do I want in love and from the relationships, the loving relationships that I have, if you don't ask yourself, what do I want, then you take what comes to you. And part of living an intentional life and helping you to stretch and exercise your mental muscle is to get you to actually thinking about and having some clarity about what it is that you want. Because you can't have the energies and the powers in the universe, what I call source energies. You can't have that brought into your life until you really start getting clear about what it is that you want. And when you do that, then it's just really exciting to see what the universe, what God, whatever you want to call the spiritual force out there that you work with, it's just really exciting to see what can happen in bringing things into your life when you start asking yourself and focusing on what I want. And so that's why in this series we're going through a series of questions and asking you, what do I want? And in this case, it's what do I want with love? Thanks a lot for taking the time to be with me today. I hope you are taking time every day in this series to spend some time with pencil and paper. It's so important to be writing down your thoughts and just be brainstorming. Just let it flow, and then maybe even be continuing to think about it when you're not with pen and paper, and come back later and add to your pen and paper notes. But really start to just let it flow and think about these things, and just title that little notebook, that you're creating, what do I want, or what I want, and what I want, and start being clear about that, and then you can start being intentional and actually attracting the things into your life that you want instead of attracting the things that you don't want. Because all too often that's what many of us end up doing, is attracting those things that we really don't want. And we don't even understand how it works that we attract those things into our life. But we do. And so I'm wanting to help you to attract the things into your life that you want. And one of the ways to do that is to start to get clarity and write things down that you actually want. And so what do you want from love? Thanks a lot, and to know more about ECNM Lifestyles, go ahead and click on that link.